Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Manila Master C Qualifier, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. And our first series of the day will be Faceless, the team from Singapore, versus Team EVOS, the surprising underdogs who have just managed to shine amazing throughout the recent games, taking out some of these more notable teams. You guys might recognize WG Unity. They've taken out the youth squad as well, and these guys look to be the first Indonesian team to actually qualify for an international event. And that could actually spell really big things for Indonesia. But, alright, introductions for myself. My name is Hades. I'll be your caster for the series and the next. So you guys don't want to be missing the series that we have today for you guys. Great games, and I'm very excited. So we already have Faceless and Team EVOS. If you guys are wondering what games we have after this, well, we have one more series, one more BO3, which will be Fnatic versus Mineski. Now, if you guys follow enough C Dota, you will know that Fnatic versus Mineski, it's basically a face-off between the old Fnatic teammates. But of course, we won't go too much into that for now, and we'll just concentrate on this game one. Faceless, well, it seems like after DAC, the win rate has kind of dropped, and well, here we are. We just completed the first phase of the draft. We start to see the Venomancer ban coming out a bit more ever since LGD started running that on Maybe. We saw yesterday as well, where I believe Mineski Mushi did run that mid Venomancer. It's just really tough to play against, especially when you have all that slow coming out, and when you actually build into more right clicks, it can be such a pain in the ass. It's hard to run away. So even though you had like 300 HP on like net, I believe he just TP'd back because he was like so close to dying because of that ultimate. But alright, enough about that. Faceless opening up with the Shadow Fiend and the Warlock, something which they did used to run a bit more in the past, where they just usually like to first pick the Warlock. Shadow Fiend is a first pick, however, I do question it since it is a very squishy pick. It's very susceptible to all these ganks early on. And Team EVOS, they already know what, they already know, like, these bans coming out. You see Earth Spirit ban, that's something which XY has been playing quite a bit. The Jabs Ember, no surprise there. Ember, despite these nerfs, still very, very viable in that mid lane. Venge, not so sure about that. We don't usually see the Venge come out too often, but it could be a hero which they don't want to, especially the swap. It's just very annoying to deal with. Not so much about the Venge core, even though the threat of that flexibility for that role, I would say, yeah, for the hero, that could be coming out. But ever since Treant Protector entered Captain's mode, we haven't seen too much of it. It's not say like a priority pick. Could be a bit niche, but it does have its perks. It's quite strong to play against. And that right click, I believe highest base damage at level 1 does belong to Treant Protector for sure. So Faceless, as we enter the second phase of the draft, do decide to go for something a bit more traditional. We'll be seeing that Juggernaut pick. Hopefully Black has that Juggerkana. I don't think we'll be seeing any Jug supports. We haven't seen it for a super long time. But okay. Yes, and it looks like my co-caster's not... Well, he's not here at the moment. So it looks like I will be solo casting this for now. Alright, so Disruptor coming out as well. Okay, one of the good things about Team EVOS, this is something which Faceless also used to run, which was the Nyx Assassin Invoker. They had a lot of faith in Ice to act, like, basically Dower just go around. In the Vendetta, you combine it with the Invoker Sunstrikes, very easy kills, and usually that's where Jabs you get to that crazy level of farm. But you have to remember that Rams is a very good Invoker as well. I believe yesterday he was like, what, 0-3 in the lane against Elena. Was it not yesterday? The day before yesterday against WG Youth Squad, and he still came back, carried his team to amazing fashion. Like, I think the good thing about Team EVOS is they tend to prioritize far more on Rams compared to iLogic, where, by the way, iLogic, if you're wondering about that Ursa ban, he plays probably, I would say arguably, the best Ursa in Southeast Asia at the moment. Not so sure about international comparison, but still, it has been really amazing to see that happen. But already you see Faceless going up with the Kunkka pick. This should be the XY Kunkka, as Warlock usually is taken up by Nuts. And unusually, like, if you haven't noticed as well, Nuts is drafting for Faceless. It's not so much Jabs, where Jabs used to be the one drafting. Alright, so the Kunkka, some of the synergy there. Of course, you have to remember the X mark is a great setup for the Razors. X Mark into a Juggernaut spin. You can take that into play, but the Axe coming up from EVOS. Jug's gonna have a tough lane. Warlock alone probably not gonna be enough to play against the Axe, especially if they do decide to run it like a Nyx support. Like Nyx and Axe, these are two extremely tough heroes to kill. Given. So yeah, I do foresee like you have that dual lane situation unless you do decide to run something a bit more greedy. And they put the Nyx into the lane, maybe let the Axe jungle a bit, get a quick dagger, start going around. You want to remember as well, like, Team EVOS are usually, they like to prioritize giving the offlane great advantage. Like, what they'll do is like, you put Vaisu and probably like one of these really, really strong pulse force, get the Axe an advantage, and this way you have basically a Vil. He's played a lot of Centaur, and yeah, he's played probably a ton of Centaurs. I've seen him probably only a Centaur and Axe. So these are the heroes which Team EVOS are very reliant on. So once he gets a good advantage, it's somewhat similar to a Faceless playstyle. So, alright, waiting for the final bans. Faceless taking out the Weaver. Yeah, that's actually one of the other iLogic heroes as well. So this is just nuts being very textbook here. They definitely have done their homework. Waiting for the fifth ban.
Radiant team pick.
Alright, so waiting for the fifth ban. So, ooh, taking out the Magnus. Alright, yeah, that makes more sense because it's a very Ice thing. So, recently I do believe Ice actually has been playing more of these unconventional offlaners. Like, I think he actually did try the Monkey King offlane before, and that's something which so far most teams used to like to play Monkey King as a pause for. They still could pick that up, but I would say they need something a bit more beefy, especially when you want to be standing in front of the Invoker, the Axe. It's very likely you see a Darks here. I'm not sure whether you play like a Bat Rider. Tide could still be out there as well, but generally like the way the meta is, it's so quick paced. These long cooldown heroes like Tide or Faceless Void have just kind of, you know, just disappeared off the map. Alright, so hello to all of you in Twitch. Thank you all for tuning in, and yes, once again, welcome to the Manila Masters C Qualifiers. And in this BO3, so this is only game 1. We're just starting the day. Great games ahead of us. Whew. Alright, so Team EVOS, yeah, they're definitely going to take their time to think about this final pick. Might be seeing something like a Slark. They could always go back into that. I like EVOS the way they've evolved as a team. Back then, they were stuck in the tier 2 stage, but now, I mean, it could be too early to tell, but I like the way they've been playing so far. It's still kind of sloppy, but they've been polishing things up a bit. And when you take out teams like Warriors Gaming, Unity, and the Youth Squad, these are just some teams which are not easy to beat as well in the C region. So Team EVOS, I'll hope to see maybe we go into game 3. That would be the dream for me right now as the caster. So Team EVOS, they will go back for the Spectre pick. We start to see a bit more Spectre as well, but usually Spectre is a hero which you tend to see played by, for example, Fnatic. Where QO and Miracle, they both have played the hero. You haven't really seen this hero played by other teams in the region. I believe TNC doesn't play Spectre. Mineski, Warriors Gaming Unity doesn't really play Spectre as well. But okay, one thing is the Spectre's laning phase, you could argue, is quite poor if you're playing against a really beefy hero. So the Tide couldn't be, like, I don't think it would be that bad, but you want something which can really help you against the Axe and the Nyx Assassin, something with a bit of a disengage. Or at least something to just stall the momentum of those fights. So, looking to see what Daryl's hero will be. Do you see something like a Dark Seer, Bat Rider? Throwing these heroes out the top of my head, we could go back to see that Nature's Prophet, see a bit of the StarCraft coming in.
10 seconds remaining.
I speak for the trees.
Alright, so yeah, there we go, Nature's Prophet. This is something which I think it's pretty good. Like, more importantly, you want to be splitting the map up against EVOS, but especially, you know, like, it's easier to set up ganks. Like, one thing about which does separate some of the really good teams from the tier 1 teams, like, for example, you want to be always constantly 2-3 steps ahead. You don't want to be just like planning the next move. It's more about being able to counter-react against those moves. But I'm not a fan of the Nature's Prophet pick, purely because Spectre is that hero where basically his team, like, look, you have a Nyx Assassin, you have an Axe, and Nature's Prophet, like, with a Disruptor. You're facing off against Disruptor and Spectre. I guess if the Nyx Assassin comes in, then maybe you have a high odds of killing him, but otherwise, I do foresee Nyx Assassin pairing up with the Axe. And you want to take into mind, like, Vendetta going around with the Sunstrike is very easy to catch the Nature's Prophet, and you always have the Spectre Haunt. So this is one of those games where it's extremely hard to rat. Could be one of those games where he may be forced to go into funky items like, I don't know, a Blink Dagger so he gets out quickly. Alright, but also, yeah, you know, Nature's Prophet wants to TP into the fight to get disrupted. There's one glimpse, goodbye. Next thing you know, you probably outnumbered the fight. And it makes things, like I said, it makes things very, very difficult. And Faceless will be have the work cut out once you pass that like 20-minute mark. So basically, once you get up to the point of that Radiance, game's just gonna be, it's just gonna be really, really tough. That's all I can say. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, first game of our BO3, Faceless versus EVOS. So I'm going to introduce right now the teams. EVOS, Vlysu playing on the Nyx Assassin, yep, the parts 4. Rams playing on the Mid Invoker, Avil playing on the Axe, Iron Logic on the Spectre, Tuhoi on the Disruptor. Don't be too surprised if Tuhoi does end up doing something where he just, like, you know, he'll just YOLO in, place a random ward, or not a random ward, but he'll just place a ward and he'll just die. Much as Tuhoi thinks. You could count it as tactical feeding, I'm not sure, or like sacrificing yourself for vision. The pauses as well, they do this quite often, I realize. Even like against the WG Youth Squad, where they basically like paused every game. But now, of course, introducing Faceless on the Dire side, Size playing on the Nature's Prophet, XY on the Kunkka, Jabs on the Juggernaut. You have Black on the Shadow Fiend and Nuts playing on the Warlock. Okay, this is one of those really, really annoying things as a caster, quite funky, where like, you know, if you put that name in the back, the first thing I saw was Size because it's longer. Like, you know, it's a bigger target for right in front of my vision. So I was like, Ice on support? Yeah, the first time. Lyrical to pretty much correct me on that the first time. But alright. Alright, so I hope you guys having a good time all the way in Twitch. Do share with your friends. Bring them all in. Bring them all in. We're going to have some really good games. Hopefully my co-caster will be coming in if he actually wakes up. Or maybe he's out. Could be an emergency. But yeah, Black on the mid. While you have Jabs playing the safe lane. Alright, I did not see this coming. But starting out with the one tango. Alright, if you guys don't know, especially for Tranquil Boots, the win lace is pretty much the replacement of one of the components. No more ring of protection. I think maybe some of the Phoenix players out there may be crying a bit, you know, no more armor for your Phoenix, especially since, you know, you started with like 0 base armor. One of my friends, top 100 Phoenix, KY, yep. He's like, no, I missed the old Tranquil Boots. Well, that's just Dota, you know. The patch changes, maybe Ice Frog sees, oh, he's like, okay, no one wants to buy drums, I'm gonna make it cheaper. Next thing you know, everyone's buying drums. Like, after the nerf to like, Helm of the Dominator, you know, teams start picking it less, stop buying it less. It's still kind of viable. It's like a, to a certain extent, it's almost like a cheaper Midas. Help you tank, get an extra aura, but blah blah blah. Jug starting out with lots of regen. You can see he's heading to the bottom lane. So, okay, that's one of the good trades as well. One thing I did not really consider until now, like running the aggro lane. You put Jabs, XY, and the Warlock. Going up against the Spectre and Disruptor, that's gonna be a really tough lane. And so you're leaving basically Ice on the Nature's Prophet to deal against an Axe and a Nyx Assassin. So like I said, you know, Vlysu going off to the off lane should be a pretty okay time. Unless of course you need to put like what? Are they gonna put like the Juggernaut with, I don't know, I think he's gonna stay in this lane. Yeah, this is just Nuts gonna place that ward down. And Vlysu here already knows where the Warlock is. This is a good sign. Like, this is also a way of, if you think about it, it's like a con. You're saying, oh, okay, look, I'm here. They won't think about the aggro lane coming in. And yeah, Jabs has the Arcana. Let's see how many kills has he gotten. 32 Omni Slash kills. I think you get kills from the Blade Fury as well. It does contribute to it. So already you can see the Treants just giving vision. They say, alright, Axe is here. So we're going up the PMS. So you're making things a bit tougher. When yeah, it's basically doing that.
30 seconds to battle.
Making things a bit tougher for Ice to harass him. But then again, you know, Treants do quite a bit of annoying damage. Somewhere out there, you guys are like, Treants, extra 4 at level 15. I like the new Orb of Venom. slow is reduced. There wasn't really so much about that, but the extra DPS is really good. So the smoke up on Faceless. All three heroes, they're looking to contest this rune. Are they going to bang to each other? And yep, they see the Spectre. Can they get him? I don't think they will, but they will steal his bounty rune. So the threat has been identified, and doesn't look like EVOs are actually going to adapt accordingly. They'll just stick with their plan. Great confidence coming out from the Indonesians. Wak, 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 wak. Yeah, for those of you who are not from C, you guys will know that WK is the way the Indonesians laugh, I believe. Gotta love it. Alright, so already you can see iLogic trying to let that range creep go first, but Jabs just being in front. It's just good to tank the aggro for a bit. At least the creep equilibrium will be in your control. So being in this try situation, like I said, you know, you get an X mark into a spin, and you have to Shadow Word that really efficient heal or nuke. I wouldn't say nuke, but yeah, DOT, it's really annoying to play against. So Vaisu, okay, this is another way of adapting accordingly. You put him mid, try and get some harassment damage onto black, like, but you can only stall on SF for so long. It's a lot of hope or a lot of investment into Rams to making sure that he gets the early advantage, so that hopefully later on he can at least, you know, last it much easier. Because otherwise, as he gets levels, it's gonna be much harder. He's just gonna keep pushing out the waves. So yeah, iLogic not having one of the easiest lanes out there, 2-0, and the denies are coming in. Not to mention as well, you guys should remember that the EXP got nerfed in wave. You don't get level 2 from an entire wave anymore. So not much less when you get these denies coming out. Makes things hard. Black doing actually pretty okay against Rams. Alright, so Zai is also doing actually pretty okay. 6-1 to the Axe, who did go back for the Quelling Blade. This you can tell, like, he's just gearing up so that he can get a better lane going up against his Nature's Prophet. He knows that the dagger timing is crucial. And Black already getting the souls up, so he will not be struggling that often, that much in the lane. Next, we're going to steal that bounty, walk maybe to the mid, or just go back to the off lane. Yep. Tuhoi can only do so much. So when you have that lightning strike against the Shadow Word, don't really worry too much about it. Even went back for the PMS. Oh, we'll see if, you know, Nuts does decide to contest that side pull. They even blocked out the easy camp, so it makes things very hard. But the range creep being pulled aside means the wave will push in. At least a bit. And this is actually really annoying if you think about it. Like, he's using these trains to slow him down, but when you have all these tiny creeps that's doing tiny bits of harassment damage away. Nice job to get the deny, cancelling off the battle hunger. iLogic is just trying to have at least a somewhat decent lane to salvage the situation, get some boots. Just even the levels. Level 6. The global presence is actually not that bad in terms of catching up for the side of Faceless. (15-3), haven't seen any sunstrikes, but pretty static laning. Actually, over in the off lane, they are trying for the kill into iLogic. They do see him with the Shadow Word. I think they should be getting the first blood here, but the stick charges. Do they have enough damage? Vaisu does come in, and he will be okay at 30 HP. Looking for the sunstrike. Ooh, off the mark just barely, but they get the stun. That should be the first blood going the way of Vaisu, killing off Nuts, and they're looking for Jarvis, but they don't have any more follow-up. No mana for the glimpse anyways. So this aggro trialing situation not working out for Faceless. So a lot of this coming to ice. You can see the overvenom. You know, like I said, the extra damage, very annoying to avail. He's just going to cut the creep wave. That's basically, I would say, your safest option. So Shrine up with the team. And already EVOS showing that they're not afraid of the Sea Giants here from Faceless. So you wait for that level 6. If you had a Haunt, man, that Sunstrike was so close. Toasting XY shoes. If anything, he probably had a mini heart attack. No healing ward. Otherwise, I felt maybe that could have kind of turned the fight around. Never underestimate healing ward. Like, that's a strangely annoying spell when you don't get to it. Like, that heal over time is really good when you combine it with Shadow Word. Alright, so Nuts gonna get that side pull. Hopefully, we'll get some damage into the creeps. But middle lane, they are looking for the kill until Black. The Cold Snap already came out. Vaisu getting this right click. Should have the Impale soon. Yes, they will. Can he get definitely follow-up kill? I don't think so. And Black should be going down here, but yes. Rams gets it. Meanwhile, bottom lane Jabs getting the spin kill onto iLogic. So very nicely done. They saw the Nyx Assassin was in the mid lane. Going for the trade onto the Spectre, very, very well worth it. But then again, it's just an SF. Like I said, you have a tough time, you can always come back in the jungle. But that's where you talk about economic distribution between the Nature's Prophet and the SF. Not to mention Jabs, he's not exactly getting like super good farm. He's getting okay-ish farm. Slightly better than I Logic. But you also want to be trying for perhaps kills. Middle lane XY gets the ward down. Does have vision on Rams. So it's pretty much like that 2v2 kind of thing where they're just rotating around. And I think they know he's there. He has that level 2 X mark. But Disruptor to try and cut him off. They do find him. They have vision on him. They are walking in. But looks like he's too far away. They will not try for that kill. TP coming in from Ice. Where are the Sprouts? Using the... Oh, he's going to use the Treants instead. And they don't have the vision. Oh, he's catching him there with the X mark. Perfect. Using the Sprout for the vision. And with the Torrent, they will get the kill on for XY. So actually, now they can afford to put a bit of pressure. Alright, Logic dying there, that's gonna slow down his Radiance timing, can't even afford boots. You can see he went back to buy extra tangos for the, you know, just so he can sustain in the lane a bit more. So 2-2 at 6 minutes in. Not so much that super aggressive Dota we're so used to seeing from C. But Ice has those trees, if he can cut the trees, he wants to go searching for a Disruptor. They know he's dead, but he has a TP. Oh, there we go. They found Tuhoi, who was trying to leech EXP. The Torrent comes up, and of course, with the glimpse, sending Ice back. It's not gonna matter as Javits finds himself one more kill. But this just means Axe has a free lane top. Tranquil's already up, almost level 7. This is about who can pretty much pull a hit quicker. The Treants to get the tier 1, pretty okay. But XY is there to try and stall that push just a tiny bit, get some EXP. Level 6 is going to be extremely big, especially for XY. One more thing as well, when you have more points into the healing ward, you combine it with the Treants, you can do a very nice push. And besides the Invoker, you don't have much deep push on the side of EVOS. Midas still not yet up onto the Invoker. That's because Faceless has been pretty much not giving any opportunities for EVOS to get these global kills. But top lane, they want to get the kill here into EVOS. Oh! Arvil going down, and Vaisu as well. Sunstrike off the mark just barely. So Ice with the double kill. Oh, if he had gotten that Sunstrike kill into Jabs, that would have been really big for Rams. So okay, pretty good trade. Arvil and Vaisu both going down. Like I said, you know, usually you see Vaisu playing that Coddle, but it seems like this time they weren't really a fan of it. I actually would have liked it, like having that Coddle. Alright, so looks like he'll be going for drums. I mean, I was talking about it during the draft. He has to be careful he doesn't stand too close to those Treants. Jab's already coming to the top, has that Omni Slash. He has to be careful, Avil is very, very massive. But after that double kill, man, Daryl now pretty much top of the net worth, completed drums. And they want to see, they want to keep on going. They know that iLogic's there, popping the Treants. They want to go for this Spectre. Looking for the Sprout, maybe. Actually, no, they just want to get the tier 2. Taking care of these trees, make sure that that no one TP's in from the back. But okay, Tuhoi coming in now. We'll see what they decide to do, but a ton of Faceless heroes here. They find the X marks into Tuhoi, going back into the Torrent. That should be one quick kill. Tuhoi. Sad life. With the Shadow Word, they get some extra damage out. This is, yeah, so Faceless. They know that they are on the clock. They're just gonna get some early towers, early objectives. You know, Jab's not having the best of times going up against Avil. Axe almost on the blink, just 600 more gold away. And this should be an easy tier 2, going the way of Faceless, uncontested. XY done once at level 6. 5 and a quarter. Now the X marks looking for the Torrent. He has the Carapace available for Vaisu. Boom, tossed up into here. But, you know, statistics. Oh, they can actually get him in the Sprout. Do they have to follow up though? No, they don't want to risk it. But hold on, Black coming in from the back. Doesn't really have that level 4 Necromastery, so that level 1 Requiem is not really going to do a ton. But it's going to do a pretty decent amount of damage still. So, now they go straight for the tier 1 tower. Extra treants, very annoying. You can imagine if he gets to level 15, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. No Midas up. ISIS was thinking about going for the Sprout. Very easy tier 1 here, going away against the Faceless. More objectives. But top lane, looks like they do have plans. With the Glimpse, maybe they can think about trying for jabs. He doesn't have mana at the moment, and I'm pretty sure they know that. Now Jab's taking things very slow. Very careful. Second to net worth. So he's not doing that bad. Just saving up for the Yasha. And of course you want Nuts to get that level 6. Crucial spell.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Alright, so he's almost there. Sentries and Tomb of Knowledge. Ooh. Okay. That was nice, you know. Get the Tomb. Now with that level 6, they can pretty much go for that huge team fight if they wanted to. This is where they just group up. Let Ice either push with them or he rats a bit. So this way, the threat of the Chaotic Offering alone. And they know that the Axe doesn't have a blink yet, but it should be up soon. And 100 gold. Spectre had such a bad start. He's only able to afford phase boots now. You can see 2.4k in the net worth chart. Had a bad time. So that aggro Trilane, they didn't get the kills, but still, it was a huge win for Faceless. Not to mention, the Nyx Assassin is not exactly a hero which is easy to roam with. Oh, Fly Suit, they find XY, who was hanging around trying to find himself some extra levels. Still doesn't have level 6. The Tomb did go to Nuts. Priority for the Chaotic Offering. So, bit of a compromise, you know, for coming out for EVOS. They have to give all these towers. I'm not sure they should be giving away a tier 2. Faces are taking way too many towers too fast at 11 minutes in. But now they go for a smoke, Avil. One thing about EVOS, they do like that flanking smokes. This could be a big fight right over here. Oh, no, think about it. They take the safer option. Don't want to risk it without the Invoker. So they're just looking for XY, going mid. They know he's there. They saw him. But I'm pretty sure they know the danger. The patterns are quite easily observable. But oh, the haste rune looks like XY. He already gets the X mark onto Avil, who's trying to run away, going for the Torrent. No, he won't get it, but the Sprout is going to be there. The Glimpse sending Black back. Doesn't matter. Omni slash Jabs gets the kill. Killing spree for him. And 2 Hoist 2 doesn't have that Static Storm. And they will just go straight for Roshan. Things not looking too good right now for EVOS. Logic still trying to get that Radiance or even the Relic. By this point, I wouldn't even say no to a Yasha or even a Diffusal Blade. Alright, so nice and easy Roshan. The objectives are bringing in the cash. You can imagine a Faceless going like, whoo, making it rain. Alright, so now the TP's to the bottom lane just to push out the wave. And then they can pretty much rendezvous go to the tier 2. They have the Vendetta, but I'm not sure whether they want to take the risk onto Jabs. He still has a spin. So let's take a quick look at the net worth chart. 6,000 of a gold lead, 13 minutes in. EXP kinda in the balance and just barely ahead in favor of EVOS, but now Jabs keeping that healing water around. He goes straight for the spin. Looks like he's gonna be okay, but middle lane, however, they get the ship going into Avil, and Avil will be going down here. Nice and easy pick off. But then again, the Jug was always going to be a tough kill as long as he had mana for the spin. And now they will go to find themselves one more tier 2. EVOS, very little room to play with right now. Still trying to build his way towards that Aghanim Scepter. And Vlysu hasn't had any luck with these Vendetta kills. Set up for the Sunstrike. And this is something which I think Faceless should be well versed in playing against. Not to mention, since this is a strat, they would similarly run. So tier 2. Already below 50% HP. The Spectre has the Haunt. Has enough stick charges for it at least. So we'll see what the ISIS decides to do. Maybe pop the treants, pop these little bushes. Yep, there we go. They might even consider going high ground. Bang, and just look at that net worth climb. Without the meteor, this might be a bit tough. They don't have that lack of, I would say they don't have that extra DPS on the meteor right now. But, you know, are they looking for any items in particular? Well, Not really. Yeah, not really. Unless you're hoping for like a mech. Yeah, I think they could be waiting for a mech coming up in XY. But right now what they need to do is just starve out EVOS. EVOS, for them to come back into this map, they need to smoke, try to find a kill, like what they're doing right now. You can see their movements, and this is one of the things I actually really like about EVOS, is that even if they're playing from the base, these guys are not afraid to do the flank maneuvers, and they could still find a way back into this game. Their high ground is somewhat decent. Going high ground into the static storm is never easy. They want to wait for the black BKB, I would presume, but he does have Aegis, creep wave coming in. They could decide to go for this tier 3 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Carapace catching onto him, but the ships comes out. Fly through, bang, didn't even pop the dust. Yo, a nice and easy kill, squashing that bug. And they will go straight for the tier 3s. Alright, so danger coming out. And the siege begins as Faceless taking a very easy tier 3, 9-3. Yowzies, and that's all. Tier 3 tower going in at 15 minutes in. This is looking to be a one-sided game. Oh, now going for the call from the side, finding the two heroes. Can he get into the Sunstrike? Yes, he can. Right into the Nature's Prophet. He's actually going to be healed back up. And if the Warlock ultimate for the first time coming out, ISS, nope, they won't get it. And actually, he dies to jabs. And now the buyback out from Maville as Black polishes off Tuhoi a bit earlier on. Flies with that upheaval will be slowed. So that goal, they can pretty much just go into the tier 3s, into the Raxes, and bang, Meteor not going to hit into anything. Now the spin off the mark. That's going to be iLogic going down. Will he be forced to buy back to get the Sprout into Avil? He's just going to Quelling Blade his way out of those trees, and they will go straight for the melee barracks. Necromonicon units as well. I like what Ice is doing, using that ranged Necro unit to just burn the axe, making sure that he doesn't get the blink. So a really nice play, and actually looks like a really easy lane of barracks going the way of Faceless. And at the same time, the shrines are wide open. They can easily go for that 12-3. Faceless looking extremely dominant in this game. Now going for the glimpse back onto Ice's size. Where's the follow-up? No, they just want to get him to stay around a bit more. But they lose a full lane of barracks, and now they just go straight for the shrines. Alright, so easy shrines going the way of Faceless. Net worth past 10,000. Making more money than United Airlines at the moment. And top lane, they're still trying to find somebody. Like, the Axe hasn't had any luck in finding Ice's size. Instead of being, to the point where he has to rat, it's never really gotten to that stage. So he's TP to the bottom lane. Can he kill iLogic here? They have the Sprout Vision, looking for the kill. With the X marks and the Omni Slash jabs, kills off that Spectre again. 1,000 years before he gets that Radiance, it seems. So with more Treants, getting the Necro 2s, he's just going to TP back in, and the push will be very, very quick. Of course, with the healing ward level 4, he doesn't really have to worry about it. Axe has to think about going for a call. They don't have a choice, they have to defend. The Axe up on Rams, maybe it's a bit more damage output. He still has the Media Deafening Blast combo. But it's too late, the tier 3 tower already going down. Getting the top tier 1 pretty much. Didn't do that much. Like the map, you look at it, there's still 2 tier 1s on the side for Faceless. Comes back. Can they get this SF? He does not have Aegis, but he has a BKB. Now with the call, going to the back line, going straight for the Warlock. They can kill him off first. Looking for the Sunstrike. Yes, he will go no first to iLogic, but the Requiem of Souls will pop. And the Static Storm, not really killing anyone. And actually, there will be Avil going down one more time. Tuhoi also falling him into the grave. They want to kill off the Spectre, running all the way to the west. So to the east, sorry. And iLogic going for the optimistic TP up, but the X mark's gonna be there. You're not running anywhere, and iLogic also goes down. The buyback's coming out. And Rams helplessly waiting from the side. He has a Tornado Meteor. He wants to use it. Going for the Tornado right now. Looking for the Meteor onto XY. Can he get the kill here? I think he should be getting it. But the Sprout connecting to Vlad too. Oh, that Carapace catching him for now. Trying to walk in, trying to kill jabs. He needs to kill with that healing ward. Very nice micro coming up from the Juggernaut. But iLogic, EVOS to still hold that second lane of barracks. That's the key factor right there. So they still have that Warlock ultimate. Looks like they would just back off, reload the Necro 3s. Nice. Whew, they can just, yeah, he's just gonna push out the top lane, and he can easily come back to the bottom lane and go for another push.
Radiant's bottom barracks. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
An angel of death! An honor for you. I will not forget this.
Dire victory.